All right, we're back for this week's Coach's Corner. And, Coach, if you want to talk about last week, we had a 4-game winning streak, and it had 2 come-from-behind wins. If you just want to talk about our games in the tournament last weekend.
Yeah, last week collectively was our best week of baseball. We pitched the ball fairly well, played extremely good defense, and our offense was able to kind of work on, throughout the week. We did a really good job getting guys on base. We were able to create a lot of action with motion. We had some stolen bases. We did a nice job with the hit and run game. We continued to bunt the ball well. We were able to drive some runners in, especially on Sunday. 2 of the games we chased down runs. We trailed in the Friday game versus St. Pete's, and we were trailing Sunday versus Manhattan. So our bullpen did a really good job being able to keep the scores. I believe it was 5-1 in both games, and our offense was able to kind of get going late in baseball games, tie those games, and eventually win the baseball game. So it was a real solid week for the Wildcats. On the diamond, kind of getting a little bit of a win streak going, getting and swinging the bats well and home.
Now, the Sunday game especially, we, through the first 5 innings, only had 2 hits, which was okay because it was 2-1. Then all of a sudden it becomes 5-1, and before you know it, it's 5-5. So what does that say about the offense just being able to produce when they really need to?
Well, the Sunday game is what I told the team after the game. I just thought we played the game harder, and we played it harder longer than Manhattan. I thought we were just a little bit tougher team than Manhattan. I think that it was a low-scoring game. Manhattan had a lot of stuff going early in the first inning off of Almonte, and Rambo throws a guy out at the plate to get the 3rd out of that inning. We get out of that inning only 2-0. Max kind of settled down. I think their starter was doing a good job early in that game, getting ahead with strikes. We made our adjustments at the plate, put some balls in play. I think Manhattan made 1 error, and we made them pay the price, big time with that. We had Steve Shrink come off the bench with 2 outs and the bases loaded, rattles the ball down in the corner to get us the lead. And then, our bullpen was very aggressive. We were able to get, Diaz had a real solid outing, and Francisco, just came in and blew Jaspers away in the 9th inning. So I was real pleased, all around with that game, the way it started, and just how our guys fought through 9 innings. And, they fought hard and got a win.
We've had a couple of games recently, whether it was games we were ahead or games we were behind, where the bullpen has come in and completely shut down the other team. That has to be a good sign.
That's a great sign. We were talking about that, 2 weeks ago when, out of the spring break where we had some developmental areas where we're working with our bullpen, but that's really settled down. And, Francisco's had a number of saves over the last 2 weeks. Pat Young, Steve Osterpeck have been outstanding all year out of the bullpen. Diaz looks like he's got to his comfort level, and we've been able to, put a couple, Matt Longfield also has had some spots duty in that area, and Matt Lengel as well. So I think the bullpen is really shaped up to where it needs to be heading into conference, and it's given us a chance to allow our offense to play the game the way we want to play for 9 innings, be able to, still run our offense and, score late and then shut the door on people.
You mentioned Steve Schrenk coming off the bench and getting a big hit on Sunday, and it seems like he's done that a number of times in his 2 years here, getting big hits for us. How valuable has he been?
It's very valuable. I mean, Steve's like a bullpen guy. I mean, it's like having a closer or a great setup guy. I mean, Steve handles that situation extremely well. I think that when I look at pinch hitters, I mean, I look at that as a position. Not everybody can do that. I mean, you can take a good hitter, give him a day off, and put him in a pinch hitting role, and he wouldn't have as much success as maybe as a guy like Steve Schrenk. I know the guys always joke around with him about Matt Stairs with the Phillies, but I think that's an art pinch hitting because you have to be mentally locked in. You got to be ready to hit from the first pitch on. If you get your pitch on the first pitch, you can't miss it. It's not a position you kind of hang around and wait. But you also have to have command of the strike zone. I think Steve does just a really good job of each time we've ran him out there in a pinch hitting role that he's got his pitch that he wants to hit. Success or not successful, he was able to get his pitch and put the bat head on the ball and give us a chance to score some runs or extend an inning. And Steve's done a tremendous job with that. Maybe one of the best guys I've ever had in the 10 years I've been here in that pinch hit role.
Now, looking forward to this coming weekend, we have Seton Hall coming in. We haven't played them in a couple of years, and it's also the start of Big East games. So what do you expect to see during the weekend?
Well, here, we're at the cusp of Big East play, so that automatically, I think, means that we get winter back. So I think that, we'll battle the temperatures a little bit this weekend. It should stay dry. We didn't play Seton Hall last year. Seton Hall is one of Villanova's traditional rivals. We had a bye versus them. I look at the Seton Hall series much like kind of like the Rutgers and kind of like the Pitt type deal. That we recruit a lot of their guys over in New Jersey, and Seton Hall recruits some of our guys. I don't know in this series if anybody likes anybody. And that's okay. I think that both programs respect each other. I think Seton Hall is very similar. I think we're very similar in the sense of that we both organizations have good pitching, play pretty good defense. I think this weekend will come down to whichever team can get their offense to work best versus the opponent's pitching. So that'll be a challenge as far as that's concerned. Very fortunate to be at home. I think we've been able to handle Seton Hall, at Plymouth the last couple times that we played them. But I would expect them to be, very close, low-scoring, tight ball games. And hopefully, both bullpen. It comes down to both bullpens, and I have a lot of confidence in, the guys that we have in the back end of our pen, headed up by Mike Francisco. That if we get the lead, or if we have the lead late in baseball games, we'll be able to shut the door on the Pirates' offense.